So it's officially been almost 1 year since I started my bookish journey after taking a 10-year hiatus. And in that time, I have read over 50 books, with my longest one being this bad boy right here, A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. We're looking at just over 620 pages. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys 5 books, plus one honorable mention, that I am actually a little nervous to read. Not because they're like controversial or anything, but some of them are a bit thicker. And when I say thick, I mean like almost 1,000 pages. And I don't know if my ADHD can handle that. This is all coming from a guy that works a normal 9 to 5, go to the gym, you know, do all the things that regular people do. And I was gonna try to come up with something positive regarding, you know, reading these thicker books, but I think we should all be scared. And I'm gonna start off by just reading the whole plot of the story. What is it about? Can we justify why it's almost 1,000 pages? And to just quickly preface, I have not bought any of these books yet because I still don't know. We're gonna start off strong with a very popular recommended book, Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. It does have a 3.85 stars on Goodreads. 559 pages, so actually not as bad as I thought. The V.E. Schwab book that I'm reading is a little bit longer, but still, you know, anything above 300 pages I'm kind of nervous about. I don't know. 2 graduate students must set aside their rivalry and journey to save their professor's soul, perhaps at the cost of their own. She has sacrificed everything to make that a reality: her pride, her health, her love life, and most definitely her sanity. And after her professor, Jacob Grimes at Cambridge, dies in a magical accident, she embarks on a journey to get his recommendation because it could hold her very future. And even death is not going to stop the pursuit of her dreams, nor will the fact that her rival, Peter Murdoch, has come to the same conclusion. This is a fantasy, dark academia, maybe subgenre, and obviously I'm a fan of fantasy. Dark academia, we'll see if this is good on audiobook. I do think I will read this because it has appeared to me in many secondhand bookstores, as well as, you know, Barnes & Noble. It's like on the main wall. It's not as long as I thought. It makes me a little nervous because I feel like this one is going to require a little bit more critical thinking. And the second book that I am nervous to read / buy is going to be Alchemised by SenLinYu. This was actually just released like maybe a few months ago. And this is a whopping 1,030 pages. I don't know if my brain can handle that, but I think I want to try. The cover is gorgeous. According to the Resistance records, we love the Resistance, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks. Oh, but Helena has inexplicable memory loss of the months leading up to her capture. Okay, amnesia. Making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears? Nah, she's gonna be strong. To uncover the memories buried deep within her mind, Helena is sent to High Reeve, one of the most powerful and ruthless necromancers in this new world. Trapped on a crumbling estate, that must be what the cover is. Helena's fight to protect her lost history and to preserve the last remaining shreds of her former self is just the beginning, for her prison and captor have secrets of their own. Secrets Helena must unearth whatever the cost. Sounds good. It's a fantasy romance, dark romance genre. If Helena and this like ruthless necromancer somehow have like a love thing, then it's gonna be kind of annoying. It sounds cool enough for me to read, but I'm just afraid that I open it up and like the first 100 pages are just not it, and I'm gonna DNF it. So that's my one concern about this one. This is gonna be a maybe. Let me know down below if this one actually lives up to the hype. If it's anything like ACOTAR, warn me now. Now on to book 3, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by Miss V.E. Schwab herself. Now let me just preface, I love V.E. Schwab. She is one of my favorite authors. Literally was highlighting one of her books at the beginning of the video. The only reason why I'm a little nervous for this book is because I'm coming off of such a high with the Darker Shade of Magic series. I don't want to be disappointed. Let's go over it. It is 535 pages, so this is actually not as bad, honestly. It's fantasy horror with vampires. Okay, Twilight, okay. This is a story about hunger. Okay, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. 1532 Santo Domingo de la Calzada. gosh, I'm pronouncing that wrong. A young girl grows up wild and wily. Her beauty is only outmatched by her dreams of escape. But Maria knows she can only ever be a prize or a pawn in the games played by men. True. When an alluring stranger offers an alternate path, Maria makes a desperate choice. She vows to have no regrets. She must be changing timelines, I guess, because now it switches. This is a story about love, 1827 London. Very cool concept. I've never seen anything like this. A young woman lives in an idyllic but cloistered life on her family's estate until a moment of forbidden intimacy sees her shipped off to London. Charlotte's tender heart and seemingly impossible wishes are swept away by an invitation from a beautiful widow, but the price of freedom is higher than she could have imagined. Interesting that we are switching characters too. When we're talking about like vampires, I was thinking maybe Maria was gonna get like bit by a vampire, and then that's why we're in these different timelines. But we're switching to a different character. Could work, I don't know. Now there's another story. This is the story about rage. 2019 Boston, lots of rage in Boston. College was supposed to be her chance to be someone new. That's why Alice moved halfway across the world, leaving her old life behind. But an out-of-character one-night stand leaves her questioning her past, present, and future. Alice throws herself in the hunt for answers and revenge. This is a story about life, how it ends, and how it starts. Like I said, it always just makes me nervous when I read multiple things from the same author and they're not all good or they don't live up to my expectations, which sucks. But I think we'll give it a try. And book number 4 is going to be A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I need to see if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Hanya Yanagihara.
Hanya Yanagihara. This is 720 pages. So this one's more on the longer side. Anything above like 300 honestly is interesting to me. The genre is fiction, contemporary, literary fiction, LGBTQ, queer. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. Even though it has high ratings, I see some people hate it, some people love it, some people just DNF it in general. When 4 classmates from a small town in Massachusetts move to New York City to make their way, they're broke, adrift, and buoyed by only their friendship and their ambition. Me. There is a kind, handsome, whilom, and inspiring actor, JB, a quick-witted, sometimes cruel Brooklyn-born painter seeking entry to the art world. Malcolm, a frustrated architect at a prominent firm and withdrawn, brilliant, enigmatic Jude. Over the decades, their relationships deepen and darken, tinged by addiction, success, and pride. Yet their greatest challenge, each comes to realize, is Jude himself. By midlife, a terrifyingly talented litigator, yet an increasingly broken man, his mind and body scarred by an unspeakable childhood and haunted by what he fears is a degree of trauma that he'll not only be unable to overcome, but that will define his life forever. I hope this isn't just like a whole depressing trauma dump episode. This one makes me a little nervous. I don't want to read 720 pages of that. I feel like I don't need any more trauma in my life. Let's move on. We're gonna get to the 5th book and the honorable mention, but before we do that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave me down a comment below. I love interacting with you guys. It's so much fun, and I just love being book buddies with so many people out there. And also follow my Instagram and TikTok. I post there all the time as well. Book 5 is going to be the Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman. I do love the cover of this book series. This one's only 382 pages. And let me tell you, I'm not nervous because of the length. I am nervous because this is a mystery, crime, fiction, thriller book. And there have only been so many of these books that I have actually liked to the point where I could give them higher than a 3 stars. You got the Frida McFaddens, the Jason Rakuliks. Like everyone has written a thriller in some way, shape, or form. And they all kind of follow the same premise, I guess. It's just whatever you think you know winds up not being true at the very end. There's a big twist. Most of the time it is predictable. In a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet up once a week to investigate unsolved murders. Okay, book club. But when a brutal killing takes place on their very doorstep, the Thursday Murder Club finds themselves in the middle of their first live case. Elizabeth Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron, might be pushing 80. Oh, okay. But they still have a few tricks up their sleeves. Can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? I don't know how to feel about this because it's kind of cliche in my opinion, like murder happen. Maybe I'm just being too judgmental. I think I would give this book a chance, and it spans for 5 books, so I don't really know like where this entire series could be going. Like, is there a murder on their doorstep every so often? They're 80. It's starting to come to the point where now, being like a full year into reading, I can spot little nuances where I'm like, and a lot of you guys actually recommended this book to me. I was trying to remember why I had this on my TBR, and a lot of you guys had this under your recommendations. They were like, this is the book for you. I think I may give it a chance. And now for the honorable mention, something I am a little nervous for, you guys probably will never guess, is going to be the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. I read Twilight in like 5th grade, and I don't really remember reading it, if that makes sense. I didn't really grasp it at that age. I don't remember watching all of them because like the Hunger Games kind of took over. So like that's all I remember from my middle school era. And I don't really know what happens in the movies. So with that being the case, I thought to myself, why don't I give this YA series a chance? You know, I read Divergent, Maze Runner, Hunger Games, Giver, all that stuff. It is about 500 pages, so a little bit on the longer side. I'm nervous because I don't know if this is aged out. Like, is this something that was like 2010, that decade, and now it's aged poorly? I don't know, so I'm nervous about that. It has a 3.67 on Goodreads. Let's go over the genres. It is fantasy, young adult, romance, fiction, vampires. We all know that. About 3 things I was absolutely positive about. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how dominant that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. Deeply seductive and extraordinarily suspenseful, Twilight is a love story with a bite. I think I'm gonna give this one a shot. I can probably buy it like at a thrift store or something like that for 50 cents. And honestly give my opinions, 20 years later? But those are my 5 books, plus the honorable mention, that I am kind of nervous to pick up and read. Whether I do that and pick them up in December or the start of next year, I feel like I'm ready to dive into a deeper part of reading. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have you guys enjoyed any of these books? Let me know down below. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.